Welcome to the AC 24/7 Top Story Countdown. We'll guide you through the biggest news of the day. Our focus, advocating our rights, advocating equality, advocating health, and advocating Earth. Here's our pick for number 4.
House Republicans moving to hold the president's son, Hunter Biden, in contempt of Congress, but not before he appeared on Capitol Hill unexpectedly, infuriating the GOP and setting off a sideshow.
You are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls. What a coward. I think that Hunter Biden should be arrested right here, right now, and go straight to jail. Yes, I'm looking at you, Hunter Biden, as I'm speaking to you. You are not above the law.
Debacle. He's shows up. It's just a show.
He should have had his ass over to the judiciary hearing, because we're doing a contempt over there.
2 House committees moving to refer the matter to the full House next week, coming as Hunter Biden's legal team implements an aggressive new strategy to take on Republicans directly.
What are they afraid of?
Republicans had subpoenaed Hunter Biden to appear before a private deposition in December, but he defied that subpoena, saying he would only testify publicly. That offer rejected by Republicans, who had demanded he first testify behind closed doors.
We will not provide Hunter Biden with special treatment because of his last name. All Americans must be treated equally under the law.
Hunter Biden already facing a criminal indictment for tax violations and gun charges and set to appear in court for an arraignment on Thursday.
Chairman Comer made an explicit offer that people like Hunter and had, like him, the option to attend a deposition or a public hearing, whichever they chose. Hunter chose a hearing where Republicans could not distort, manipulate, or misuse that testimony. Honor.
The chaotic scene on Capitol Hill comes as Republicans are moving ahead with an impeachment inquiry into Hunter Biden's father.
In my opinion, this committee is not interested in prosecuting Hunter Biden. The facts show that President Biden profited from his name, and the person that arranged the deals was Hunter Biden.
But so far, they do not have the votes to bring articles of impeachment as they continue digging for anything connecting Hunter Biden's business dealings to the president's actions, something they have yet to prove.
I think it should go to the House floor for a vote, but I don't know if we have the will to do it. I don't know if it would pass.
Boeing has acknowledged to work with the FAA to ensure there are proper inspections. The FAA has said that Boeing's plan of inspections of the door plugs on that 737 MAX 9 aircraft required revisions and that most aircraft will remain grounded in the meantime.
We're going to approach this, number one, acknowledging our mistake.
Boeing CEO David Calhoun acknowledging the company's mistake on Tuesday, following Friday's emergency landing after a panel blew out in flight in the side of a Boeing 737 MAX 9 aircraft. But according to top safety officials, it's not clear what that mistake is.
He stated that mistakes were made, and I'd like to understand what mistakes he's referring to.
Jennifer Homendy, chair of the NTSB, says it's imperative to find out what went wrong and why.
We know what broke. We need to understand how it broke.
A Boeing company source told CNN that Boeing believes the mistake is due to, quote, the assembly that was built up through the supply chain. This as the FAA grounded most Boeing 737 MAX 9 aircraft as officials investigate the cause of the detached door plug. An incident passengers on that flight won't soon forget.
It was just so scary when it happened because you just hear that loud noise and then the plane filled with wind and the mask dropped, and it was just something you don't want to be experiencing on flight.
Fear that Boeing CEO is also acknowledging.
I got kids, I got grandkids, and so do you. This stuff matters.
He says the crew did their jobs right.
Pilots and crew who got that airplane back on the ground at a very tumultuous moment, in very scary circumstance. They trained their lives to do that.
Today, Alaska Airlines announced that the 737 MAX will not fly for at least several more days, extending its cancellations of flights scheduled through Saturday. Pressure is also growing in Washington as lawmakers weigh whether to hold hearings over the issue. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley and Governor Ron DeSantis taking center stage in the final debate before the Iowa caucuses. And the gloves were off.
If he would spend as much time trying to prove why he thinks he would be a good president, he would be doing a lot better in the polls.
This is the UN way of thinking, that we're somehow globalists. You can take the ambassador out of the United Nations, but you can't take the United Nations out of the ambassador.
While the frontrunner was absent, Trump chose to attend a separate Fox News town hall event and teased a possible vice president.
I mean, I know who it's going to be.
Give us a hint.
We'll do another show sometime.
The dueling events taking place as one of Trump's biggest critics steps aside.
Anyone who is unwilling to say that he is unfit to be president of the United States is unfit themselves.
The former governor of New Jersey also found himself in a hot mic moment criticizing Haley.
She's going to get smoked. And you and I both know it. She's not up to this.
Trump seizing on it.
I know her very well, and I happen to believe that Chris Christie is right. So I'm not exactly worried about it.
Haley and DeSantis reminding voters of Trump's absence from the debate stage again. Something they both agreed on, but which voters don't seem to mind.
I wish Donald Trump was up here on this stage. He needs to be defending his record.
Donald Trump should be on this stage. He owes it to you here in Iowa.
But neither took the opportunity to strongly denounce him or argue he's unfit for office.
So when you look at Donald Trump, I have said, I think he was the right president at the right time. I agree with a lot of his policies, but his way is not my way.
If Trump is the nominee, it's going to be about January 6th, legal issues, criminal trials. The Democrats and the media would love to run with that.
But DeSantis and Haley spent most of the debate going after each other and trying to prove who can be the toughest on stage.
Do not trust Nikki Haley with illegal immigration. That's like having the fox guard the hen house. Nikki Haley also opposed the border wall in 2016. She said that she ridiculed it when Donald Trump was president. I'm telling you, you need a wall.
Go to DeSantisLies.com. I said you can't just build a wall. You have to do more than build a wall. It was having the wall and everything else. You can't trust what Ron's saying.
DeSantis arguing Haley's record as South Carolina's former governor proves she isn't ready for the White House.
She says she's always supported school choice, and she failed to deliver. She blames other people. Leadership is about getting things done. Stop making excuses. Make it happen.
Haley firing back in a blistering takedown of his campaign.
If leadership's about getting things done, how did you blow through $150 million in your campaign? We went and saved our money. We made sure we spent it right, because you have to understand it's not your money, it's other people's money, and you have to know how to handle it. If he can't handle the financial parts of a campaign, how's he going to handle the economy when it comes to the White House?
It's not a wave of deja vu. Another massive winter storm is heading across the U.S., and it looks a lot like the one from earlier this week. Today, the storm is shifting out of the west, where Lake Tahoe is reeling from yesterday's deadly avalanche.
There were 2 people that were caught and 2 people that were buried.
One witness recalls people on the chairlift with her jumping off to start digging.
We just all got asked to help and start probing and start trying to just find people.
One of them was, extracted by her partner, and the other one was assisted by some other guests.
Experts say avalanches can come from strong wind and heavy snow. Now those kinds of conditions are heading to the plains and Midwest. If the storm intensifies fast enough, it could even reach the level of a bomb cyclone. Warmer states are likely in for severe thunderstorms and possible tornadoes.
He busted the front glass out of the door, and we could shine the light in. We seen her.
All that heavy rain could put more pressure on strained infrastructure like dams.
If that were to fail, there would be floodplain areas beyond what our normal, even 500-year flood would be.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.